The quest for the solution of youth has spread over hundreds of years and mainlands. However, as of late, the chase has fixated on the Okinawa Islands, which stretch over the East China Sea. Not exclusively do the more seasoned occupants appreciate the longest future of anybody on Earth, yet by far most of those years are lived in strikingly great well-being as well. Of specific note is the quantity of individuals who arrive at 100 years of life. For each 100,000 occupants, Okinawa has 68 centenarians, multiple occasions the numbers found in US populaces of a similar size. Indeed, even by the norms of Japan, Okinawans are surprising, with a 40% more noteworthy possibility of living to 100 than other Japanese individuals. Little miracle researchers have gone through decades attempting to reveal the insider facts of the Okinawans' lifespan, in both their qualities and their way of life. Furthermore, one of the most energizing variables to have as of late got the researchers' consideration is the exceptionally high proportion of sugars to protein in the Okinawan diet, with a specific wealth of yam as the wellspring of the vast majority of their calories. It is an incredible inverse of famous weight control plans that advocate a high-protein, low-carb diet, says Samantha Solan-Beat, who looks into sustenance and maturing at the University of Sydney. In spite of the prevalence of the Atkins and Paleo counts calories, be that as it may, there is negligible proof that high protein eats less carbs truly realize long-haul benefits. So could the Okinawan ratio 10:1 starch to protein rather be the key to a long and sound life? Despite the fact that it would in any case be awfully right on time to propose any way of life changes dependent on these perceptions, the most recent proof, from human longitudinal investigations and creature preliminaries, recommend the speculation is worth genuine consideration. As indicated by these discoveries, a low-protein, high-sugar diet sets off different physiological reactions that shield us from different age-related sicknesses, including malignancy, cardiovascular ailment and Alzheimer's malady. What's more, the Okinawan ratio may accomplish the ideal dietary parity to accomplish those impacts. Quite a bit of this examination originates from the Okinawa Centenarian Study (OCS), which has been researching the soundness of the maturing populace since 1975. The OCS looks at occupants from over the Okinawa prefecture, which incorporates in excess of 150 islands. By 2016, the OCS had analyzed 1,000 centenarians from the area. As opposed to enduring a drawn-out end, the Okinawan centenarians seem to have deferred a large number of the standard impacts of maturing, with right around 66% living freely until the age of 97. This exceptional health span was clear across many age-related ailments. The normal Okinawan centenarian seemed, by all accounts, to be liberated from the commonplace indications of cardiovascular malady, without the development of the hard, calcified plaques around the veins that can prompt cardiovascular breakdown. Okinawa's most established inhabitants likewise have far lower paces of disease, diabetes and dementia than other maturing populaces. Hereditary bonanza. Given these outcomes, there is little uncertainty that Okinawa has an uncommon populace. In any case, what can clarify that uncommon lifespan? Hereditary favorable luck could be one significant factor. Because of the geology of the islands, Okinawa's populaces have spent huge pieces of their history in relative confinement, which may has given them a one-of-a-kind hereditary profile. Starter considers recommend this may incorporate a decreased predominance of a quality variation, APOE4, that seems to expand the danger of coronary illness and Alzheimer's. They may likewise be bound to convey a defensive variation of the FOXO3 quality associated with managing digestion and cell development. This outcomes in a shorter height yet additionally seems to lessen the danger of different age-related illnesses, including malignant growth. All things being equal, it appears to be far-fetched that great qualities would completely clarify the Okinawans' lifespan, and way-of-life variables will likewise be significant. The OCS has discovered that Okinawans are more averse to smoke than most populaces, and since they work transcendently in agribusiness and angling, they were additionally genuinely dynamic. Their very close networks additionally help the occupants to keep up a functioning public activity into mature age. Social association has additionally been appeared to improve well-being and lifespan by diminishing the body's pressure reactions to testing occasions. Dejection, interestingly, has been demonstrated to be as destructive as smoking 15 cigarettes every day. It is the Okinawans' eating routine, in any case, that may have the most potential to change our perspectives on sound maturing. In contrast to the remainder of Asia, the Okinawan staple isn't rice, however the yam, first presented in the mid-17th century through exchange with the Netherlands. Okinawans additionally eat a wealth of green and yellow vegetables, for example, the unpleasant melon, and different soy items. Despite the fact that they do eat pork, fish and different meats, these are ordinarily a little part of their general utilization, which is for the most part plant-based nourishments. The conventional Okinawan diet is consequently thick in the basic nutrients and minerals, including enemies of oxidants, yet in addition low in calories. Especially previously, before cheap food entered the islands, the normal Okinawan ate around 11% less calories than the ordinary suggested utilization for a solid grown-up. Therefore, a few researchers accept that Okinawans offer more proof for the life-upgrading ideals of a calorie-confined diet. Since the 1930s, a few specialists and researchers have contended that ceaselessly constraining the measure of vitality you expend could have numerous advantages well beyond weight reduction, including a deceleration of the maturing procedure. In one of the most convincing analyses, a gathering of rhesus macaques eating 30% less calories than the normal monkey indicated an exceptional 63% decrease in passings from age-related illnesses over a 20-year time frame. They likewise looked more youthful, they had less wrinkles and their hide held its young radiance instead of turning dark. Because of functional challenges, long-haul clinical preliminaries in people still can't seem to be finished to test the consequences for lifespan, yet an ongoing 2-year analyze, subsidized by the U.S. National Institute on Aging, was profoundly intriguing. Members on a calorie-confined eating regimen indicated better cardiovascular well-being, including lower pulse and cholesterol. It's as yet not satisfactory why a calorie-limited eating regimen would be so gainful, yet there are numerous potential components. One chance is that calorie limitation modifies the phone's vitality flagging, with the goal that the body commits more assets to conservation and upkeep, for example, DNA fix, as opposed to development and proliferation, while restricting oxidative pressures brought about by the harmful results of digestion that can cause cell harm. The advantages of the Okinawan diet may not end with its calorie limitation. Solon Biot has directed a progression of studies looking at the impact of dietary piece, instead of sheer amount, on maturing in creatures, and her group has reliably discovered that a high-carb, low-protein diet broadens the life expectancy of different species, with her latest examination indicating that it decreases a portion of the indications of maturing in the mind. Incredibly, they have discovered that the ideal proportion is 10 sections carb to 1 section protein, equivalent to the purported Okinawan ratio. In spite of the fact that there aren't yet any controlled clinical preliminaries in people, Solon Biot refers to epidemiological work over the world that all point to comparative ends. Other seemingly perpetual populaces have likewise been appeared to have dietary examples that incorporate generally low measures of protein, she says. These incorporate the Kitavans, who live on a little island in Papua New Guinea, the South American Siman individuals and populaces that devour the Mediterranean eating regimen. By and by, the specific instruments are dim. Like calorie limitation, the low protein abstains from food appear to advance the cell fix and upkeep. Karen Ryan, a dietary scholar at the University of California, Davis, calls attention to that the shortage of amino acids can urge cells to reuse old material, instead of blending new proteins. Together, these progressions may forestall the maturing-related amassing of harmed proteins inside cells, she says. This development of harmed proteins may for the most part be liable for some infections, she says, however the normal tidy up when we eat a low-protein diet could forestall it. So would it be a good idea for us to all beginning embracing the Okinawan diet? Not exactly. Ryan focuses to some proof that low-protein admission may confine in essence harm up to the age of 65, however you may then profit by expanding your protein consumption after that point. Ideal nourishment is relied upon to fluctuate over the existence history, she says. What's more, it's additionally significant one investigation, which found that the general benefits of protein and sugars may rely upon the protein source. An eating regimen higher in plant-based protein gives off an impression of being better than an eating routine wealthy in meat or dairy, for example. So the Okinawans might be living longer because of the way that they're eating, generally, products of the soil, instead of its high-carb, low-protein content. Eventually, the Okinawans' well-being is presumably because of a fortunate intersection of numerous components, Ryan says. What's more, explicit connections among these components will likewise be significant. And we may require a lot more long stretches of research to comprehend the significance of every one of those fixings before we at last concoct a genuine formula for the mixture of youth.